Hi everyone, I'm attorney Jacob Birenbaum from Hawley, Kaufman Kautzer. This will be a video series about OWI traffic stops from the time of the officer pulling a driver over through to the time of arrest. But first, make sure to subscribe to this channel, check out all our other videos, and like us on Facebook and Instagram. In Wisconsin, operating while intoxicated cases, also called OWIs, are very complex and have a lot of nuanced issues. This video series will try to hit some key points that come up from the time the officer pulls the driver over through to the time of arrest. This video series is by no means a complete recitation of what happens. When an officer pulls the driver over for suspicion of an OWI, he or she will often ask the individual to perform field sobriety tests. These are tests that are conducted at the side of the road, or in cases of inclement weather, the individual will be asked to come to a fire department, police department, or some other dry, warm location. Field sobriety tests are a series of tests that the officer conducts on the driver to assess whether there is cause or suspicion to believe that that person is impaired. The first test is what's called a walk and turn test, which is a series of heel-to-toe steps that an individual will be asked to take on a real or imaginary line. And while that person is walking, the officer will ask the driver to count each step out loud. Another test is called a horizontal gaze nystagmus test. And in short and in simple terms, it's really a lot like following the tip of a pen with your eyes. The officer is looking for deviation in eye control and eye movement. The third main test that the officer will have the driver complete is called the one-leg stand test. And it sounds a lot like what it is, in that the individual will have to stand on one foot of their choosing and count out loud. Sometimes officers will have an individual recite the alphabet, or may even ask the individual to touch their finger to their nose. It's important to know that an individual is under no obligation to complete these field sobriety tests. However, certain license holders are required to maintain certification of their driving. For instance, commercial driver's license have specific requirements that an individual may need to complete those tests or lose qualification. While you're under no obligation to complete those field sobriety tests, it's important to at all times be polite and respectful to law enforcement. Under Wisconsin's implied consent laws, there are some other consequences that may occur for an individual refusing to submit to a test of their breath or blood. Check out the next video to learn more about Wisconsin's implied consent laws.